As I sit down and share my thoughts with you, I'm struck by the challenge of putting my experiences into words. Living with ADHD and being a high functioning autistic adult often feels like navigating through a world that wasn't designed for me. Currently, I'm jobless, a situation that many others on the spectrum or with ADHD can relate to. It's not just a personal struggle, it's a societal issue that urgently needs addressing. ADHD, or attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, makes my mind race at 1,000 miles per hour. Ideas come and go often before I can act on them. Tasks that seem straightforward to others can be overwhelmingly complex for me. Meanwhile, autism adds another layer of complexity. Social interactions, which many people take for granted, require conscious effort and can be draining. Together, these conditions make holding down a conventional job challenging, to say the least. I've tried numerous jobs over the years. Each time I hoped this one would be different, that I could finally settle into a role and build a career, but more often than not, the environment or job demands clash with how my brain works. The 9 to 5 grind doesn't accommodate the fluctuations in my focus and energy levels. Traditional workplaces are not designed to be flexible enough to support neurodivergent individuals. Statistics show unemployment rates are disproportionately high among those with ADHD and autism. Many of us want to work and are capable of contributing in meaningful ways. However, the job market, structured as it is, fails to accommodate our unique strengths and challenges. The result is a cycle of joblessness that's hard to break. For many, it's not a lack of will or capability, but a lack of understanding and adaptation in the workplace. The stigma around joblessness compounds the problem. In our current version of American capitalism, employment is often equated with worth. Those without jobs are seen as lacking ambition or effort. This couldn't be further from the truth for people like me. The reality is that the system is not set up to include us, and society tends to forget or overlook us. The stigma needs to end. The first step is understanding that being jobless isn't a reflection of one's value or effort. People with mental and physical disabilities face barriers that others don't, and these barriers aren't just personal but systemic. Employers need to be more flexible and inclusive, recognizing that diversity in cognitive functioning can be a strength, not a liability. Ending the stigma also means advocating for broader systemic changes. Policies should encourage and support neurodivergent employment. This could mean offering more part-time positions, remote work opportunities, or roles that allow for flexible hours. Additionally, there should be better support systems in place for those who do find work, ensuring they can thrive rather than just survive. Living with ADHD and autism has taught me resilience and creativity. I've learned to navigate a world that often feels out of sync with how my mind works. But I'm not alone in this. Many of us are there, eager to contribute and bring our unique perspectives to the table. It's time for society to recognize this and make room for everyone, regardless of how their brains work. The journey to ending the stigma of joblessness is long, but it's one we must undertake. By creating a more inclusive society, we not only support those with ADHD and autism, but also enrich our communities with diverse talents and perspectives. It's a change that benefits everyone. I know many of you watching might relate to what I'm saying. You might be living with ADHD or autism or know someone who is. Your support and understanding are crucial. Share your experiences, advocate for change, and help raise awareness. Together, we can push for a society that values every individual's potential, regardless of how their mind works. To those of you who feel overlooked or forgotten, I want you to know that your experiences matter. You're not alone in this. Let's continue this conversation, share our stories, and advocate for the changes we need. By supporting each other and pushing for systemic change, we can create a world where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. For those in positions of power, whether you're an employer, policymaker, or community leader, take a moment to consider the barriers faced by neurodivergent individuals. Implementing inclusive practices isn't just a moral imperative, it's beneficial for everyone. Diverse workplaces are more innovative, more dynamic, and better equipped to handle the challenges of the modern world. Education is another important piece of the puzzle. Schools and universities must adapt to the needs of the neurodivergent students. By providing appropriate accommodations and fostering an inclusive environment, we can ensure that all students have the opportunity to succeed and contribute to society. Early intervention and support can make a world of difference, helping to break the cycle of joblessness before it starts. Let's not forget the importance of mental health support. Living with ADHD and autism can be exhausting and often leads to anxiety and depression. Accessible mental health services are essential for helping individuals cope with those challenges and building fulfilling lives. Supporting mental health is not just about treating problems as they arise, but also about creating environments that promote overall well-being. We are at a crucial point where awareness and understanding are beginning to grow. Let's build on this momentum and work towards real, lasting change. Each of us has a role to play in creating a society where everyone, regardless of their neurodivergence, can thrive and be valued for who they are. Consider how you can contribute to this change. If you're an employer, think about how your hiring practices can be more inclusive. Are you providing accommodations that can help neurodivergent employees succeed? Flexible hours, quiet workplaces, and clear written instructions can make a significant difference. By making these adjustments, you're not just helping individuals with ADHD with autism, you're creating a workplace that is more adaptable and supportive for everyone. For educators and parents, fostering an environment of acceptance and understanding from a young age is vital. Teach children about neurodiversity, encourage empathy, and celebrate different ways of thinking and learning. Schools can implement programs that support neurodivergent students, ensuring they receive accommodations they need to thrive academically and socially. As friends and family members, offering your support and understanding can make a world of difference. Listen to the experience of your loved ones, advocate for their needs, and stand by them as they navigate a world that often misunderstands their unique challenges. Your support can provide the foundation they need to pursue their goals and dreams. For policymakers, it's time to act. Advocate for laws and regulations that protect the rights of neurodivergent individuals, ensuring they have equal access to employment, education, and healthcare. Support initiatives that promote mental health and provide resources to those in need. By creating policies that recognize and accommodate neurodiversity, we can build a more inclusive and equitable society. On a personal level, we can all challenge our own perspectives and biases. Educate yourself about ADHD and autism. Understand that being jobless is not a failure, but often a consequence of systemic barriers. Speak against stigma and discrimination when you see it. By changing the way we think and talk about neurodiversity, we can help create a more inclusive culture. To my fellow neurodivergent individuals, I want to remind you that your experiences and perspectives are valuable. It's easy to feel discouraged in a world that doesn't always understand or accommodate us, but know that you are not alone. There is a growing community of people who are advocating for change and supporting each other. Your voice matters, and together we can change things. One way to support neurodivergent individuals is by enacting policies that address the economic inequalities many of us face. Socialist policies such as universal healthcare, free education, and strong social safety nets can provide the necessary support for people with ADHD and autism. These policies would ensure that everyone has access to essential services, regardless of their employment status. Universal healthcare would mean that neurodivergent individuals could receive the mental health support and medical care they need without the needed stress of financial burden. Free education would provide opportunities for lifelong learning and skill development, empowering individuals to pursue careers that suit their unique strengths and interests. Moreover, implementing a universal basic income, UBI, on the federal level would be a significant step towards ensuring financial stability for all, including neurodivergent individuals. A UBI would provide a guaranteed income that covers basic living expenses, giving people the freedom to pursue work that aligns with their capabilities and passions without the constant pressure of financial insecurity. It would also serve as a safety net for those who struggle to maintain traditional employment due to their neurological differences. To be truly effective, UBI must be designed to protect against inflation. This means that the amount provided should be automatically adjusted based on the cost of living, ensuring that it remains sufficient to cover basic needs over time. Such a policy would not only benefit neurodivergent individuals, but also help to reduce poverty and economic inequality across the board. If we must live in a capitalist society, it's crucial to adopt measures that protect the most vulnerable. UBI, alongside robust social services, can provide the foundation for a more inclusive economy where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. These policies would acknowledge the inherent value of every individual, regardless of their employment status, and promote a society where people are not judged solely by their ability to conform to traditional work cultures. In advocating for these changes, it's important to build coalitions and work with other marginalized communities. Many problems we face are interconnected. By supporting one another, we can create a stronger, more unified movement for social and economic justice. Through collective action, we can push for policies that recognize and accommodate the diverse needs of all individuals. Let's continue to raise our voices, share our stories, and advocate for a world where everyone, regardless of their neurodivergence, has the opportunity to live a fulfilling and dignified life. By embracing inclusive policies and working towards systemic change, we can build a society that values every person's unique contributions and ensures that no one is left behind. In conclusion, the journey towards ending the stigma of joblessness and creating an inclusive society for those with ADHD and autism is ongoing. It requires efforts, understanding, and commitment to change from us all. Let's continue to share our stories, advocate for inclusive practices, and support one another. By working together, we can build a society where everyone has the opportunity to thrive and be valued for who they are. Thank you for being part of this conversation and your commitment to change things. Let's keep pushing forward one step at a time towards a more inclusive and understanding world.